Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche Podcast, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one rated sportsbook app out there. I'm your host, Rudo, joined by AJ Hafley and Blaze Hunter. And chat, just take a breath. Take a look at the cute doggo. Breathe. It's going to be okay. Get some cuteness in your veins because the loss is not the end of the world as the Avs fall 3-2 to the San Jose Sharks in this one. This was 39 minutes and 20 seconds of solid, if not the greatest hockey game ever. No, but the Avs look solid for nearly two full periods. And then one play goes wrong at the end of the second, and they just don't have it in the third period. Honestly, that's what it is to me. That simple.
Yeah, they looked awful. I mean, the top line didn't do much either tonight, so that was
I disagree.
That's hard. You do?
Top line, huge aid for San Jose tonight. They did some seriously heavy lifting for the Sharks.
I was waiting for I must have missed some stuff out there.
Oh no, man! I think that the three individual games that they were constantly trying to play with varying degrees of success and the really just all around selfish hockey that the three of them were putting together. It's good stuff. I mean, it's quality stuff. You could definitely lay claim to the best top line in the league when you play that way.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like they played like shit. But I know that the shot numbers are going to look great. But the defensive their defensive play was so poor. Colorado's top line, and that extends to Taves and Makar, which more and more I just think that's not the pairing, and I'm starting to wonder what the deal is with Cale Makar. Man, and when I say what the deal is, I mean why is it that he but why is it that he struggles to put consistent games together away from Ryan Graves as his like main partner? Because when he plays next to Graves, he gets into that rhythm and just rolls and rolls and rolls, and you'll see 5-6 good games in a row, and then he'll have a rough game or whatever. But you put him next to Devon Taves, and it just feels like you're riding this roller coaster. And maybe some of that is the fact that, look, we're still talking about a guy that only has 90 games played in the NHL. And it just feels like he's been around for a really long time. So he's been such an advanced young guy in the league that we don't treat him as a regular rookie and or sophomore. And our expectations are through the roof for him. But so maybe it's just as easy as that, right? Like it's just a young guy having young guy problems.
Look, I'm not going to say Cale Makar played great tonight, but if you're asking me, Devon Taves was the far more volatile guy on that pairing tonight.
I thought they were both bad. There were two big moments from Makar that I really, really liked.
The coast to coast.
The coast to coast in the start of the second period.
Yeah.
Where he had the nice shot and he throws it right in the chest.
Yep.
And then stopping the 1-on-3 at the end.
That was awesome.
That was so cool.
The post check.
I think that was that was it. Those were the highlights. I thought they were both bad on both of the goals against, and I thought that the selfishness was
painful on the top line for sure. Yeah.
Well, and I think it kind of flowed through their lineup. I thought there was a lot of selfishness on the ice tonight. This is a team that absolutely dominates when they play as a 5-man unit, and they weren't doing that. And I think tonight's result is just a result of that. I just think that you kind of reap what you sow when you try and play really individual hockey. And
this here's the thing to me is this game felt a lot like the Avs of 2 years ago, the team that didn't have the mental toughness that we're used to seeing from it this year, in a sense that they did not play great in the first two periods, but they're up 2-0. They're fine at the end of the second period, and then they have one disaster of a play They give up a goal late in the second period, and they just never get the momentum back for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
They spend the entire third period, Sharks get their goals off of another poor defensive effort and then an awful penalty kill.
Yeah. Makar just lost him off the face-off there. That's not the person you want in front of the net, too, by himself, is Hurdle sitting out there.
There's nobody within 8 feet of him.
Yeah.
It was not good. It was not good. Yeah. On the other side, I do want to have some positives in our first period as well. I absolutely loved Tyson Jost in this hockey game. Tyson Jost was a monster in this game. Well rewarded for the goal on an incredible shift. And beyond that, it's the Tyson Jost we know and love of always working ridiculously hard on things like the forecheck and just the type quickly becoming the type of player that nobody wants to play against.
He took some punishment before he scored that goal too.
Yeah, I mean that shift was ridiculous. He gets laid out in the neutral zone, puts on a great forecheck, comes back, causes a turnover on the back check, and then does great work up the wall to eventually, the play develops and he gets the rebound and a beautiful backhand to finish too. So when it's working, it's working, Yeah. Jost always puts in the work. The finish finally came for him. Well deserved on that one.
Yeah, that backhand was no joke either. There was no chance of them grabbing that one. Yeah.
That he did not have to go full roof job on that backhand, but he did anyway, because why not? But the other obvious topic of the night, Alex Newhook's first game in the NHL. Thoughts here? Because I liked a lot of what I saw personally.
Yeah, I mean, I think he made some smart plays. I think if you watched him before the game started, he looked very nervous. Obviously, if you saw him on the bench there, he was just trying to calm himself. And the Avs gave him a little bit of leeway at the beginning there, taking face-offs, putting him in the power play. I thought it was a good time to use him and see what he's got. He made some smart moves, made some rookie mistakes, but also he hustled out there and looked like he fit right in on that second line. Made some great passes. That pass to Kadri was awesome from the boards, and the one from behind the net as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's exactly what I was looking for too. You want to see the flashes of his ability, and you saw that a couple of nice plays in the offensive zone where he walks with the puck a bit, the nice pass from behind the net. You saw some of his skating ability as well at times. The strength obviously isn't there yet. You saw a couple times where he would try to battle for position in front of the net, and it was like he was running into a wall. But that'll come in time. Yeah. So that side of it was solid. AJ, I know you're sulking over there, but give me something positive.
Newhook was good. Okay. He played with confidence. He played with jump. He brought the element that we wanted to see. I thought I didn't have an issue with that line. I thought they were good. I thought Kadri looked good again. Liked Burakovsky for the most part. I thought that combination was exciting walking in and exciting walking out. I would keep them together, and I said it on Twitter before the start of the game, or right around the start of the game, that you have 6 games to kind of just go all in with this Newhook thing and see what you have. I really liked Newhook's back check, though, on that one play where he lost it at center ice. He came back and picked his pocket, got back down the ice, and that was all encouraging. Still very much trying to find his way. Looked a lot more comfortable in the offensive zone than anywhere else on the ice, as you would expect. It's going to be a work in progress. Defensively, it's going to be a work in progress. I thought that him through the neutral zone, a little more tentative than I expected. But this was also something that we saw in the AHL. It was 9 points. It was 9 points in 8 games, and everybody was, hyped up about all of that. But there was a lot of power play points there. And at even strength, it was a lot more of he's still trying to find it. The talent is certainly there, though. And I think that, you you look at tonight, and it sucks that Alex Newhook isn't more of a story. It would have been a lot more fun to just get all hype beast on it. But in terms of the issues that they had tonight, I mean, that their middle two lines, the Jost line, the Newhook line, zero complaints. About maybe my only complaint is that they didn't score again. But
yeah,
I mean, if you walk into any game and the second line and the third line are going to give you goals tonight, you feel really good about winning because the first line usually does a lot more than what it did tonight.
Getting a straight zero from your first line plus Cale Makar is a rarity for the Avalanche.
Yeah, and I just think that's it's tonight's a bummer. It's a disappointing loss. Your margin for error, they win tonight, the margin for error is still pretty wide in terms of the division race because 2 points back, a head-to-head, and a game in hand. That's you're looking at, you don't need tiebreakers to win the division in that scenario, and now you do, because now you're looking at if they win out except the Colorado game and Colorado wins out, Colorado wins the division based on tiebreakers.
Yep.
But one point, they drop 1 point along the way.
Right.
That's no longer true. They still control their own destiny.
Is realistically they have to win out.
Yeah, they're still in charge here. They're still in the driver's seat because they have the regulation win advantage, which is something that Vegas did not add to tonight with the overtime win.
Yep.
So Colorado's still in the driver's seat, sort of. It's weird to say that when you're 4 points back, but that's the reality. As long as they take care of business in Vegas and they win all their games against all 4 games against LA, they will win the division. Mathematically, that's where it is as of right now. Like, Vegas has to make up two regulation wins in order to catch Colorado in the first tiebreaker. So, I think it was ambitious to believe that the Avs were going to win all of their games against the Sharks and Kings. I still think that would be ambitious to believe that.
It would be foolish to believe that, given they just lost one.
Well, and I mean the Kings.
Win out against the remaining
their last 5 games. Yeah. It wouldn't be like a major upset if they win all 5 of those games. It wouldn't be a major surprise if they went 4-1. I think anything less than 4-1, you're probably disappointed.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything less than 3-2, and you're nervous about the start of the postseason.
Yep.
Like 3-2 is like an acceptable result. It might get them home ice advantage in the first round. Just, they have a 1 point lead and a game in hand on Minnesota. So they have a little bit of cushion here. But I'm not making a ton out of this, but I do find myself a little more concerned than I was at the start of the night.
It's disappointing. There are a couple other guys I want to talk about, but we can get to that in the second period, as we are brought to you by Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. You can also get their Breckenridge hard seltzers, 15-can sampler packs, down at the no, we don't have seltzers at the DNVR bar. We have the beer there. But at your local liquor store, you can find the seltzers if they're in stock. If you find them, get them, because they sell extremely quickly. We always struggle to find some for ourselves. So jump on it while you can with Breck Brew. Obviously, they've been with us forever, so we love them. Go get their stuff, support our partners, because that's supporting us as well. We're also brought to you by Strava Craft Coffee, the CBD-infused coffee that can help with migraines, aches and pains, IBS, joint pain, all sorts of awesome stuff. You can get 25% off your first purchase at StravaCraftCoffee.com when you use code DNVR25. That's a great deal. And if you want to check it out before you go and buy it, you can get it cold brew down at the DNVR bar as well. Since I'm talking up the DNVR bar, you might as well get an annual membership to DNVR as well, so you can get 22-ounce beers instead of 16 ounces at the bar. Plus, we kind of have pretty decent content, if I do say so myself, between AJ, Evan, myself on the Avs beat, and all of the other amazing beats as well. And if you get the annual, you get a free shirt, potentially created by this guy right down here. So someone was tweeting the beautiful Four Norsemen shirt at us today. That thing is fire. Plenty of other amazing shirts to look at too. Who knows? With Newhook officially in NHL, or maybe we need to get to work on some new shirts. I don't know. We'll have to see.
I had a bunch of people ask me where the Newhook shirt was, and I was like, "It's not anywhere."
Yeah, we don't have one yet.
First game.
It's we'll get there. All right. Just give us some time. Obviously, if you really love us, supporting us through an annual membership is a great way to do it. You can also like and subscribe to this video and this YouTube channel, as that does a bunch for us on the video side as well. Keep an eye out. We got some pretty cool video content coming up. Probably not this week, but hopefully before the playoffs. So just keep your eyes peeled for that stuff. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Two more players I wanted to touch on. Number one, Connor Timmins, another good night. He did have one scary mistake that resulted in him getting an assist ultimately, but
that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Grubauer able to stop the partial breakaway the other way, and then Timmins fires it up the ice for the Avs' second goal eventually. If that dude keeps rolling, are we legitimately looking at him in the top 6 when Sam Girard returns, when Bowen Byram returns?
Well, Girard, we know, is probably coming back. So Girard takes McDonald's spot.
Sure.
Okay, because I just don't think you can pull Connor Timmins out when he's playing well.
I agree.
It's Byram getting healthy where you have to just, what do you do at that point?
You have to make a choice.
Do you stop the Timmins momentum, or do you just say, screw this? Our PK hasn't been any good with Patrick Nemeth. We're not going to mess, we're taking what Connor Timmins is giving us at 5v5 over what Nemeth is giving us, and then you roll Byram and Timmins over Nemeth.
And yeah, just say YOLO and play Byram and or Timmins on the PK.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's be honest here. The whole point of getting Patrick Nemeth was you needed like a guy that could help you out on your third pairing that just won't be a total nightmare for you, who can help you with your PK. That hasn't worked. And if he continues to just not play very well and they get both, and Timmins continues to do his thing, and then you have Byram come back healthy, I mean, you just have to, right? Like, Nemeth has to be the odd man out in that situation. Now it's on Timmins to continue playing well.
No doubt.
Knowing that he's in a tenuous spot where if he has a really bad game, he probably gets pulled. He can't string together 2 bad games. That's for damn sure. But this version of Connor Timmins is way more useful than even the best version of Patrick Nemeth. So they just have to... they have to let these guys just. I think it's logical decisions. You let the
spots are up for grabs, is what you're saying. Yeah,
no loyalty here. I mean, obviously, you're not sitting Makar and Taves and Girard and
the top 4 is a different animal there.
Well, and like Bowen Byram played so well for you that when he was healthy, that you just have to put him back in the lineup.
Yeah.
I don't care that he only has 19 games played. If he gets healthy and he goes down and he plays a couple of games for the Eagles in a conditioning stint, and he gets healthy right at the start of the postseason, I don't care if I don't care if he hasn't played all year, and his first game back is game 1 of the postseason. Game 1, then it's game 1. It has to. I mean, I think tonight was a phenomenal example of the difference that it makes having puck skill on their defense. Jacob McDonald's not a world beater. He's not. I mean, like, we joke about him on the pod all the time, and like I joke about him on Twitter, like he's changed my life. What, like, just having a little bit of puck skill.
I don't even know
the dynamic of that defense.
I don't even know if it's the puck skill. How much better did Patrick Nemeth look tonight playing next to a guy who has feet?
Yeah,
I think it's the puck skill because it limits what he has to do. It limits what you ask Graves to do. It limits what you ask Nemeth to do. When you put them next to, Dan Renoufs and Kyle Burrows and those types of guys that just don't really have very much puck skill. For me, more than the mobility, it's because look at what's the big difference in Timmins. It's not like all of a sudden his mobility is amazing. It's the fact that he started his play with the puck just went boom, 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 boom. Like it just got better and better. And because of that, I think that really shows off how dynamic the defense can be. So if you have an opportunity, Timmins is continuing to play well. Byram comes back. Then, Nemeth and McDonald go. I'm still keeping Graves around because I'm going down with that ship.
To Billy's question here, he says, I mean, they didn't know Jost would be awesome on the PK. I say you wrote Byram and or Timmins just to see it. AJ and I actually had like a little bit of this conversation off the pod the other night.
Accidentally.
And in the universe of the smallest sample sizes imaginable, I think it's like 6 minutes for Byram and 7 minutes for Timmins. Byram has looked fantastic on the PK by his metrics, and Timmins has looked downright awful. So, look, I'm not against it. Throw Byram out there. See what it is.
I have no problem with it because you put puck skill on your defense, then okay, great. Those guys get the puck behind the net. They can do something. They can make a guy miss. They can do more than I'm just going to rim this around the boards and just friggin' hope for the best.
Yeah. Because
that's what we saw where the PK struggled tonight.
Yep.
Multiple opportunities to clear pucks. And granted, you don't want a dude throwing a pizza up the middle of the ice. But it's like both Taves and Graves did it. And I found myself just trying to resist the urge to smash my face into my keyboard. Because they would fire like non-competitive pucks around the boards.
And it's is sitting there waiting for it.
And it's like Erik Karlsson is on the opposite side there. Like you can look at Erik Karlsson, you can bag on him all you want about how he's not the same guy. That guy could still handle a puck. Like that's a guy with some puck skill that you're throwing that thing at. Could we just make a little bit more of a competitive play than that? Yeah. I mean, it's just so frustrating to watch him be like, well, maybe it will bounce up off the ice and hop over a stick at the exact moment that I need it to. Or maybe he will just totally misplay it and I'll get lucky. Like you're playing for the other team to do something poorly instead of executing yourself. And that's just not it's not clean living.
Yeah, and when the other team sees that you have defense that can't move the puck, they're planning for that, right? They're planning for the puck to go up the boards, and they're going to make sure that they're sticking guys there to basically take that over. When you've got some, defense that can actually skate the puck up the ice and then look for the pass, you have to respect that. So you have to play a little bit different of a game. You can't just be waiting for the puck to come straight to you. So
it's just, and it's one of those things, right? Like if you're in a puck battle, there's a dude right on you. I understand it to a certain extent.
I mean,
it's the ones where you have
what you got to do.
It's the ones where you have a second and a half. You can get your head up and you can fire it to somewhere they aren't. It's not that hard.
Where Graves gets the puck and he circles around behind the net, and there's like a guy closing in on him, but he's not there yet, and you're like, bro, your head is up. You're looking at the ice, and this is the decision that you make. Like, man, that's frustrating to watch.
For sure.
And then, you don't get it out. They make one Royal Road pass after another because Jonas Donskoy can't stop it.
Was AFK in the middle of the ice. Like, puck's just zipping around him like pinballs, dude.
Like, you are not a matador. You need to use the stick. It is not something you can just ole every puck that goes by you. All right? That is not how you celebrate Cinco de Mayo. It was messed up, dude.
It was not good. And then the one other player I wanted to talk about before we get into some of the other conversations of this game, Philip Grubauer. AJ, you said you were more concerned than you were after the other games. I'm a little concerned about Philip Grubauer. And look, he didn't have a bad game tonight. He only gave up 3 goals, but that dude does not look comfortable in net right now to me at all.
Really slow on the power
lateral movement was awful.
Really, looked like trying to turn a tank, dude. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, dude, what is this? The Mako from Mass Effect 1? This is the clunkiest thing I've ever seen. And so that wasn't great. The one that I really didn't like though, the rebound on the second hurdle goal. Like
his rebounds were not good tonight.
If he just corrals that puck, there's nothing. There's nothing there. Like Hurdle's just standing there like, please.
Oh, there's no puck. Yeah.
Please give me that puck. He's looking like Rex is right now, looking for treats.
Straight up.
That would have been Hurdle. And instead, that thing like dents the armor. And he's like flailing about. And then like credit to Hurdle. Hurdle does make a nice move there.
Yeah.
To get all the way around the pad. That part I'm not putting on him. But whoa, dude. Don't love that rebound. That rebound was fat.
Yeah. And that's usually something that he's really good at, right?
Yeah,
like he sucks that stuff in and you never see rebounds from him in those plays.
Those are the two things that he's the best at, reading the play and not giving up rebounds. Because when he's at his best, he's the least sexy goaltender on the planet. It is boring. He's one and done. It's a lot of face-offs. It's a lot of, okay, well, he gobbled that up and that was the end of that. And instead, it just dings him and rebound is right there. Again, credit to her. Hurdle does make a nice move on that one. And then the other one, he just kind of like with the Dubnyk in Vegas on the 2-on-1. Like, that's not on him.
But where are you going, bud?
Yeah, but it's like you're so not competitive on it that it stands out as like, whoa.
Well, and that was 20 seconds before he slid nearly all the way into the corner and lost his stick.
And then like just like gets up and like skates and you're like, goalies look so weird skating without a stick. Like wait, they look so weird, man. And like I don't think he was bad or anything. He made a couple like they don't like the Timmins assist.
Yeah, he made a great save there, sure, but
stops a breakaway from Noah Gregor. Makes a huge save. So I wonder if it's more just a little bit of a rust thing than like
could be.
Anything else. I'm not overly concerned about it yet. There are enough games left where he can play well enough that whatever concerns I have tonight, he assuages those. And
with Dubnyk in protocol, he's gonna play.
Yeah. Well, with only two back-to-backs, I guess. I expect him to play the first back-to-back if they're still chasing the division title, and then JoJo. I expect Johansson to get one of the games at the end.
Yep.
But I want to see Grubauer have like the what was it, like the 18 save shutout or whatever his first game back.
Didn't have to try too hard on that.
It was like credit for the shootout, but the team in front of him was good that night. They did not have to work very hard.
I will say
not like he has these last couple of games where you're just and like the first goal against, there's nothing Grubauer can do about that. I'm not even worried about that.
Yeah, okay. Even on that second one though, too, like that's a team goal, right? Like
they had
they had a bunch of chances to get out of the zone and just could not do it.
How do you let Tomas Hertl just stand behind you? Like Taves moves up and he's marking a guy, and Makar just stands there as Hertl dips behind him, and it's like, Kill, there's a man behind you. That's bad, bro. In your business, that's bad. And he gets to that freely because Makar's just not there.
Yep. I have no big argument against that. We can take our second period break here as we are brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 rated sportsbook app out there. They give you amazing odds boosts every single day on all sorts of different sports. Be sure to sign up with code DNVR to get your amazing new account boost right now. Coming up this weekend, you can bet $1 and get yourself $55 on the big fight. Just bet on either fighter to win in the main event. If you pick the right guy, you've cashed in your big $55. Why not jump on it? It's basically free money to a certain extent. And then you get to play with it. You get to bet on whatever you want. If you want to bet on Landeskog scoring goals. You can do that. If you want to bet on Berkey, who's hot right now, you can do that. Real men bet on Alex Newhook to score because the odds are good for that one. Jump on it while you still can. Head on over to DraftKings Sportsbook. Download their top-rated sportsbook app now, and be sure to use that DNVR code again to let them know we sent you on there. New users only on the $1 for $55 to win the weekend's main event. 21 or older, Colorado only. Other restrictions, terms, and conditions apply. Only at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. We are also brought to you by Solace Meds. You can hit them up at solacemeds.com. That's SOLACE meds.com. And you can get a bunch of amazing deals right now. It is still Cinco de Mayo for another hour. If you're in Colorado, you can get 20% off when you use code DNVR20 at checkout for the rest of tonight. You can also buy 3 and get 1 free in store at upcoming dates, including Mother's Day and Memorial Day. So hit up one of their stores. There's 4 locations in Colorado and 2 in Oklahoma City if you happen to be down there. Fort Collins, Denver, anywhere around, you can find a place near you. Jump on it, get some great deals with Solace Meds, or check them out online and use that DNVR20 code to save yourself 20%. Certainly last, but certainly not least, we're also brought to you by Hassel Cattle Company. Damn good meat. And they bring you the Wagyu beef burger. It is officially down at the DNVR bar now. So if you want to try them, come on down, get the beef burger, Wagyu beef burger. When you love it, go to HassleCattleCompany.com, get their meat, get $200 to get the free shipping if you really love it, or you can get DNVR 10 code for 10% off no matter what you get from Hassel Cattle. The way to do it legitimately, like we joke about Eric driving around with a $500 box of meat, but call up your buddies and each of you get like $30 of meat and you get the $200 for free shipping, and then everybody wins because it's delicious and amazing. So do it. They make amazing meat. I don't know how else to put this without jumping into a Manscaped read. So third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. I don't know how deep we'll go in this conversation. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but on the Sharks' first goal, it's being talked about. Was it offside?
No.
No?
No, I think you're allowed to back in to the zone with the puck, and if the puck is under your control like that, I believe you're allowed to back in.
You are now, at the risk of getting into a very semantic and minutia layered debate.
Well, I think that's the reason they didn't challenge, is because they would be rolling the semantics.
Yeah,
right. Was he in control of that puck really on that play is the question, because
that's.
I'd have to rewatch it.
If you want to leave the challenge up to the eye of that eye of the beholder, then that's like I could totally understand where you're coming from. You know the risk. You know that if you get it wrong, it's a goal. They have a power play to start the period. Like you're taking that chance. Look, if Colorado doesn't play like shit down the stretch, none of this matters. You don't, because I don't think, like, if you look at this freeze frame, then it's like, yeah, obviously it's offside, but that's not how the rule is written. It's not how the rule is enforced. It's not how the rule is applied. So using this freeze frame as like some gotcha moment, I know that's not what you did here. You're just asking the question, but it seems to be like this thing that Avs fans have done tonight where they're like, well, look at this picture. I wouldn't have reviewed it. I would not have challenged it personally, because I thought he was clearly in control of it, and based on how the rule is written, he was good there.
Blaze, agree or disagree?
I'd have to watch it again. Like, you can't tell if he is actually in possession of it right there. It's like on its side as well. So, I mean, it's like a 50-50 call right there. Yeah. Just looking at that.
He controls the puck before the blue line and then starts moving it forward and doesn't put his puck on the stick again, or his stick on the puck. Yeah, sorry. However, he does turn his body to guard the puck from Makar.
Yeah.
So it's super gray to me how in control of that puck he really is. Yeah. I don't blame the Avs for not challenging it.
Yeah. That's 100% I'm not paid to make that decision. And it's easy for me to sit here and say, oh, if I was in that spot, but I would not have challenged that. No.
Yeah. So anyway,
I will say, in the world of if you challenge it and you lose your timeout, I would have challenged it. In the world of if you challenge it and you get a penalty, I'm not challenging it.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Because if you lose your timeout, I mean the cost benefit there is it's hilarious. It's why we saw Gerard Gallant in Vegas.
Just he used to challenge everything. Yeah, if there's even a remote chance of it being overturned.
He used to make goaltender challenges, goaltender interference challenges left and right, because it was just like, why not, dude? If they take the goal off the board, then great. Otherwise, all I've lost is my timeout, and there are still TV timeouts, and like, how important is a timeout versus an actual goal? Now, power plays and stuff, you don't want to be handing that stuff out. So, yeah, I'm just not. For me, this was not a big deal to me. I didn't think it was a big deal. I thought he had control based on how the rule is applied. It seemed like it would have been a really quick review. If they just freeze framed that and they weren't allowed to watch the play, I totally would have challenged it. But knowing that they're allowed to watch live video,
you can catch the breakdown of it in my video coming up later tonight. Since, YouTube allows us to do that in not live video, but not in live video for some reason. So, yeah, that is what it is. Yes. Give this full screen doggo cam, the beautiful Rex. Shout out to my wonderful wife feeding him treats to keep him there, and now he's asleep. But I don't blame him. These late games. Oh, there he is. He popped back up. There's another treat. Look at that.
Yeah. Too many treats. Must sleep now.
He'll do anything for a treat, basically.
When I'm in Winnipeg, this is exactly what my relationship with Z looks like.
She dangles a treat for you, and
if she needs something from me, gives me the treat. I do it. Otherwise, I'm laying down. Treat time? What's that? You need something? Treat time?
Yeah. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of happiness tonight. I know he gives me a lot of happiness. That's all I got.
Yeah. And this really isn't this was a disappointing loss, but this isn't the loss to burn it down about.
Yeah.
They finished 6-2 against the Sharks on the year. They go 3-1 in their sets against them.
Yeah, that's the point I wanted to bring up is we've had a couple of series now where the last couple games of the series didn't go the Avs' way, but their worst record against any team this year is 3-1 against Vegas at the moment.
Yeah. So
this one is 6-2, which is better than they did against St. Louis, which was 5-3, I believe. They've completely smashed Arizona. I think they went 5-2-1 against, I want to say.
Arizona?
Yeah.
I think Arizona they went.
Was it 6-1-1?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, they've won a lot of games against these teams.
Yeah. They've won all their season series except
Vegas, which they still have the opportunity to win.
Yep.
So
it's a good year.
The road play, I'm not worried about their road play, honestly, because we talk about those games in St. Louis. They didn't have Grubauer for those games. And one of those games they played pretty well, and Dubnyk didn't.
Yep.
One of those games was their last matchup sucked. They were just not good. But otherwise, I'm not worried about their road play. They went 1-1. They went 1-1 in San Jose. It's not amazing. They're 14-9-2. You look around and it's like, are they significantly worse than anybody around them?
The only team that is significantly better than them on the road is Carolina.
Well, I mean, I'm not even looking at Carolina because they would play Carolina in the Cup Finals.
Yeah,
so they're 14-9-2. Minnesota's 14-9-3. St. Louis is 14-8-3. Vegas is 18-9. So
Vegas pretty solid on the road.
It's more games played, right? Because Colorado spent an entire month at home. They've spent now an entire month on the road.
If Colorado wins their next 4 games on the road, they're 18-9-2.
Yeah.
So,
and you're completely fine.
Yep.
So I'm just not overly concerned about it yet. Again, there are five games left for that to change.
For sure. You want to go into the playoffs on a good note, no doubt about that. But they have 5 games to do that. So
yep. They've got 3 road games left, right? In LA, and then in Vegas before they come home.
Vegas.
Yep.
Okay.
Super chat question here. Feelings on the power play from Pete. Here are my feelings on the power play tonight. All y'all asking for them to stop doing the drop pass to McKinnon, you saw what it looked like tonight, and it was bad. Their entries struggled when they tried to run things through Rantanen or Landeskog tonight, and it wasn't. That's why they stick with the drop pass. Sorry.
I thought Rantanen was so bad tonight.
He was not good, dude.
McKinnon is an easy target for frustration because he's always around the puck, good or bad. But I thought Rantanen was so bad tonight. Not strong on the puck. I thought he was super, super awful defensively.
He was
totally
non-existent defensively. Yeah,
totally checked out. Like the guy would just like go back and he would hang out at the blue line and chill. And then it was like, oh, now we get to skate the other way. Cool. Didn't do anything offensively. His one like good chance offensively was that one timer,
which he has not had since he's come back. His one timer hasn't been there.
It has not looked good. No. I'm just not. It was a bad night.
Yep. Yeah. One game though. So
Nico coming back off of injury or off of COVID and having a huge game, predictable.
Yep.
A couple of games later, him having the game that it looks like it's his first game back, also predictable.
Yep.
So I'm not too. To be honest, I'm just not that concerned about the power play. I never am.
This is. I think all roads are leading to the same thought that you've already had here, AJ. Right? They dropped 3 in a row earlier for the first time this year.
Yeah. Don't
let this turn into a losing streak and nobody cares.
Yep. Have this if they lose one game in that final stretch of if it's 4, the block of 4, and then the 4 games against LA and the 1 game against Vegas, if you lose 2 games in your last 9 games, you're fine. The fact that the other teams around them don't also want to lose, well, that's just a tough break. You know, it is what it is. But like, what is their point percentage?
720-ish. Oh, it's down to 706 after today. Yeah.
706. Yeah. Well, they just got 75% of their points against San Jose.
Yep.
So this is kind of just them doing what they've done. They win 4 or they win 3 out of every 4.
706 is good for 4th best in the NHL. Also,
not too shabby. Too shabby.
And considering everyone ahead of them has played more games than them, pretty good.
Yeah, like we'll see. Like I had multiple people. Oh, now they're probably going to finish in 3rd. Why is that probably?
Yeah,
they currently sit in 2nd with a game in hand. Why is it probable? Do you guys know something that I don't? Like multiple people. Oh, well, now they can't catch Vegas. You got 5 games left to catch Vegas. They're 4 points back with 5 games to play, one of which is against freaking Vegas. So it's just like let's just stop thinking that we know the goddamn future, and let's just see how this one we'll see how this rolls for the next week. We got a week left in the regular season, fam. Let's just see how it goes.
Well, and the other part about it too, right? It's a long, like this is obviously a short season, but it's still a long season. And, you know, you don't go into work every day and just do your best job. There's some days when you're off, but when the boss is looking at the end of the year and you've got stuff that's got to get done, which is the playoffs, it gets amped up. So like they're all going to be humming.
It's crunch time. Yeah.
Yeah. Like everyone's like, oh, they're just going to lay down and die in the playoffs. No, come on. Like I saw some people in the chat. That's ridiculous. That's not happening.
This is so I think some of the people that do mention that they see some of the teams the Avs have beat, like Calgary a couple of years ago, But the difference between this team and that Calgary team, for example, is the Avs don't have deep underlying flaws in their lineup.
Yeah.
And of course,
Yeah.
anything can happen. In a playoff series, if Grubauer shits the bed, then you're done. But you can't. There's no human being on planet Earth that can predict something like that. So
yeah, I mean, the fact that Minnesota is in here to begin with, like at this level, 1 point back in the going into the final 10 days of the season or whatever, like. How many people who think that they can see 10 days into the future foresaw any of that?
Right.
Probably not very many of them. So why would anybody on earth listen to your future prediction skills? Let's just take this one down a notch, fam. Like it's going to be all right. Tonight maybe when we look fast forward to the end of the season and everything has happened and played out, we look back and everybody's right. This was the harbinger of doom. This was the precursor for another collapse and another heartbreak and another frustration. But we don't know any of that. It's okay. It's okay to be frustrated with the loss. It's okay to be disappointed. It's okay to be concerned about some of the underlying issues. My only real annoyance is like, let's not act like we can see the future here.
If you can see the future, I have some questions about Dogecoin in the stock market, by the way. Even if it's just 10 days in the future, hit me up because I would like to make some money. I'd not waste my talents on whether the Avs are good or bad.
Yeah, it's all about the momentum. Okay, well, have they not won 3 of their last 4?
Does momentum even matter if they're going to get a week plus off before the playoffs start?
This is the other question. We don't know when the postseason starts.
Yeah,
if the postseason, so their last game is the 13th. If their postseason series starts on the 17th, momentum matters,
right? But if it starts on the 24th,
if they finish on the 13th. And their postseason starts on the 21st. They've had a week to just kind of sit around.
Yep.
Sammy must be a psychic here. He's got some tips for you already.
That is looking into the past, not the future. Unfortunately.
Oh, is that what happened now?
I think so. Yeah.
I think that I honestly agree with. I think the West playoffs are going to be awesome. Yep. As bad as the division has been, it has clearly separated 4 teams that are good belong, and 4 teams that belong on the scrap heap. I'm super excited for however those playoffs are going to. How could you not watch Minnesota and Vegas tonight and think, "Holy crap, these teams already hate each other." These teams hate each other, and they would be a great playoff series.
I can't honestly I think a lot of matchups are shaping up good. It's pretty much a lock that the 2 Florida teams are going to play each other. You're looking, the entire East is going to be a total baller blast. And who the hell knows what happens in the North?
Well, and like Edmonton, Winnipeg, if Winnipeg is actually humming, like Winnipeg has the perfect anti-Connor McDavid formula.
Yep. They're a sleeper.
If it
works.
If it's working, because like Winnipeg just lost like 7 in a row, so it's very like if it's working, but in Montreal,
they've been struggling a bit, but
but you just never like. But they're 5-5. They're 5-5 in their last 10. Winnipeg is 3-7. Toronto's 5-2-3. Like the postseason is actually shaping up to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
I'm super excited for the regular season to finish and for us to all come together and do our postseason prediction shows.
Yeah.
And all the postseason stuff that we're getting into is going to be so much fun.
Yeah. It's going to be
and that includes Colorado. Like I have absolutely no confidence whatsoever that Colorado gets out of the first round. I have absolutely no confidence whatsoever that anybody gets out of the first round. Okay, like that's not. I don't believe in the Avs. I think this has the potential to be a postseason unlike any we've ever seen because of how the regular season has gone.
Yeah.
So I'm I'm really excited for it. We just have to get through this regular season slog.
Right.
And I'm trying to I get myself up for the games and then we watch it and it's just like
these games suck.
And you watch it because and I'm sitting here watching it and I'm wondering because I know a lot of people are like, oh, the Avs have really mailed it in since they clinched. And it's like, well, a lot of shit has happened since then. It's it's not
Yo, if the Avs mailing it in is 6-4 in their last 10, that's not so bad.
Well, there's a 3-game losing streak in there,
right? Yeah.
So it's like, okay, what about the couple of the games before then? And there's a 3-game in those 10. There's a 3-game losing streak. Otherwise, it's like, oh, they pretty much won all their other games.
Yep. If you go to their last 13, they'd be.
Also tonight, can I just say, numbers and stats and things are weird.
Yep.
Because the Avs. Famously, right? Like we talked all about it last show. They go in 0-8-0.
Yep.
Have never had a comeback win, right? This season. They have not had any comeback wins. They get one. So what do they do the very next game? They're
blow one.
They're one and only to this point regulation loss when entering the third period with a lead.
Yeah.
They are now 27-1-1.
Nice.
So I think it's funny that the Sharks gave them both of those.
Still finding a way to find firsts of the season.
Back to back, no less, too. That's great.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know why anyone in Colorado would be scared of Minnie. The Avs are like the secret sauce to stopping Kirill Kaprizov for most of the season. He's been outside of one game. Kaprizov has not shown up against the Avs series.
Yeah, I said I have no confidence that any team gets past the first round. That includes all the other 15 teams that are about to make the postseason. I have no confidence in any of it. We don't know the matchups yet. We don't know how those teams look. We don't know what the health looks like. We don't even know when it's supposed to start. So, I'm just saying, meh.
All right. I think we're about done for the evening.
Oh, final thoughts.
Yeah.
Yes. Dude, the Sharks have some really fun young players. It kind of makes me mad because, they deserve 5 years of misery. But they kind of have, I like the Barpanov kid. I really like Noah Gregor. And Mario Ferraro is a dude.
He's a beast.
Dude, he's fun.
Yeah.
He's fun. And I really like Noah Gregor as a depth guy with some speed that could totally change a game for you.
I have one bone to pick with the broadcast tonight. They said that Mario Ferraro's teammate was Cale Makar. No. Cale Makar's teammate was Mario Ferraro. Let's get that in the correct order.
Yeah. No, I don't know why Mosher can't say Barpanov. But I think after 4 games in a row that Barbanov would stop, but I don't know. I thought it was funny. Their job is impossible this year. In the past, you
just go ask a guy. Yeah.
You will, if you have a question, you just go and you ask a dude. That hasn't existed this year, and so it's just chaos.
I mean, what the Coronash is how you maybe pronounce it.
This was like when Jesse Montano and I were trying to figure out how to pronounce the Igor's last name, and we just gave up. Which is why we call him Igor now.
Yeah, right. So definitely tough there. Everybody knows I'm terrible at pronouncing names too, so I feel the pain. In other notes, have you seen Mark Mosher's Nuggets rap?
Yep. I definitely watched that mail-covered fiasco. Yep. I actually had to pause it halfway through so I could go and get some sunglasses so I could continue experiencing the whitest thing ever made. Hilarious. I don't mean to bag on it or whatever. It was hilarious, and props to them for putting themselves out there and making something kind of fun and silly. It was super white.
Needed more auto-tune.
If you dig deep enough on YouTube, you can find me rapping about getting Landeskog into the All-Star game, but I like to think it was slightly less white than that.
Was that the year that they made the buttons?
Yeah.
And I asked him, did I ever tell you about when I mentioned those to him during an interview?
You told me about it, but I don't know if you said it on the pod.
The couple years when the All-Star game was in San Jose.
Yeah, if we had
like Blandy was like one of like the last like vote-in guys. And I went and at the end of his interview, I was like, have you seen the buttons? The vote for Landeskog buttons? And he blows my question off, which is the first time he'd ever done that to me in our career, like in my career, right? In my time covering the Avs. And I was like, bro, those are real. Like, he thought I was kidding with him, and he was like, oh, I only blew you off because I thought you were kidding. He's like, does somebody have one? Mikko Rantanen comes wandering into the locker room, his big old button on his jersey that says "Vote for Landy," and he's like, "Take that off now." It was so funny, dude, because he was just like. Everybody was like, vote for Landy, vote for Landy. They made like a whole social media campaign, and
they had like the video of him tying Mikko's skates and stuff.
Like, they did all kinds of things. Right? And he was just like, look, that's a chance for me to spend time with my family. That's 3 days that I get to go on vacation somewhere and do something that I want. Or I can go to the All-Star game. And he got voted in, and he went, and like he was like, "Oh, it was a great time." And he said, "Hey, if it happens, I'll be honored by it. It's a great thing in my career." Blah 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 blah.
I mean, it was super cool for Avs fans because they got all three of the big three.
Yeah. Well, and then you remember McKinnon had that goofy injury and couldn't play.
He had to coach the team.
Yeah. So the whole Landy All-Star game thing. It was just so fun. And it was the only time he'd ever been like downright rude to me in an on-the-record interview. And he was like, I thought you were kidding about the buttons. And no, they ended up being very real. And I miss going into the locker room and just bullshitting with guys. Morning skate was the best for that. Better than practice. Because after practice, they either had video sessions and meetings that they had to go to.
Or they were gone.
Or they were done for the day and wanted to get the hell out of Dodge. And morning skate, like, there's nothing going on. So those are the best days to go into the locker room and just, like, pick a dude who's just, like, sitting there. Nobody's talking to him, or he's already done media or whatever. You go and you just chat him up. You just talk to him about whatever. Books, the universe, life, whatever. And that's how you get silly stories.
All right. I think we're done with the silly stories for tonight because Rex's farts are about to run me out of this room. So we're going to get out of here for the evening. Thank you, everyone, for staying up late, sticking with us, watching the show. Or if you catch it the next day, either on YouTube or in podcast format, we appreciate all of you. We will be back tomorrow, 1 p.m., doing a show about something. Not sure.
Yeah, what do you guys want? Do you guys want to do Q&A tomorrow?
Ooh, yeah, we could do that. We could drop a tweet tonight, and y'all can hit us up with your questions on Twitter. Should be fun. We'll do another tweet in the morning for y'all too. But
yeah, toss us
your burning questions. Yeah, so we can do that. We'll hope to see you all there, 1 p.m. Mountain tomorrow. Hope y'all have a great rest of it's Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday night.
It is.
And we will catch you guys tomorrow.